Imagine a world without cities, without farms, without even the idea of a permanent home. A world bathed in the raw, untamed beauty of the Pleistocene epoch. This was our planet 2 million years ago, a time when our ancestors, the early members of the genus Asterisk, Homo asterisk, weren't the rulers of the earth, but just another creature trying to survive. Their lives were a constant dance with nature, a daily struggle for food, water, and safety. They foraged for plants, fruits, and insects, but this was often not enough to sustain their growing brains and bodies. The world was full of massive, powerful animals, and for the longest time, our ancestors were the hunted, not the hunters. They lived in small nomadic groups, constantly on the move, seeking shelter in caves or under rocky overhangs, their senses sharp, always alert to the snap of a twig or the scent of a predator on the wind. So, what changed? How did these vulnerable two-legged primates transform into the most formidable hunters on the planet? The shift wasn't a single event, but a slow revolutionary dawn of ingenuity. It began with observation. Our ancestors watched other predators. They saw the power of a coordinated pack, the effectiveness of an ambush, and the rewards of a successful kill. They likely started as scavengers, bravely darting in to steal scraps from the kills of saber-toothed cats or giant hyenas. This was incredibly risky, but it gave them a crucial taste for high-energy meat and fat, which fueled the development of their brains. This new food source created a feedback loop. More meat meant bigger brains. Bigger brains meant better tools and strategies to get more meat. They started to understand animal behavior, learning migration patterns, watering holes, and the subtle signs of a creature's weakness. The idea of actively pursuing and bringing down an animal, however small, began to take shape. This transformation was powered by two monumental discoveries: stone tools and fire. Imagine the first time an early human purposefully struck one rock against another, not by accident, but with intent. The result was a flake of stone with a razor-sharp edge, the first old Owen chopper. It may look crude to us now, but this was the cutting edge of technology. It was a portable fang, a claw that didn't break. For the first time, they could effectively butcher a carcass, slice through tough hides, and break open bones to get to the nutritious marrow inside. This simple tool opened up a whole new world of food resources. Then came fire. Perhaps captured from a lightning strike, the ability to control fire was a complete game-changer. It provided warmth against the biting cold, kept terrifying nocturnal predators at bay. And, most importantly, it allowed for cooking. Cooking meat not only made it easier to chew and digest, but also killed harmful bacteria, unlocking even more nutrients. The hearth became the heart of the group, a place for safety, community, and sharing stories under the flickering light. With tools in hand and the warmth of a fire at their backs, these small groups evolved into primitive tribes, bound together by the necessity of cooperation. A single hunter stood little chance against a giant deer or an ancient bison. But a group? A group could strategize. They could communicate with gestures and guttural calls, working together to corner, exhaust, and overcome animals many times their size. This was the birth of the cooperative hunt, a defining moment in human history that required trust, planning, and shared purpose. These weren't just hunts. They were epic sagas of survival. Picture this. A small band of asterisk, Homo habilis asterisk, stands on a ridge, the morning mist clinging to the savanna below. Their eyes are fixed on a lone, aging giant deer, separated from its herd. They are armed with nothing more than sharpened sticks and crude stone choppers. There is no grand battle cry, only a silent understanding that passes between them. They begin their pursuit. This isn't a sprint. It's a marathon of endurance. For hours, maybe even days, they track the animal relentlessly. They use the landscape to their advantage, driving it towards a ravine or a bog. The deer, powerful but built for short bursts of speed, begins to tire under the relentless, steady pace of these upright apes. This tactic, persistence hunting, was one of our first great predatory advantages. Finally, the exhausted animal stumbles. The hunters close in. It is a chaotic, dangerous, and brutal affair. They use their numbers and their rudimentary weapons to bring the great beast down. The risk is immense. Single kick or a misplaced charge could be fatal. But the reward is life itself. The successful hunt is a moment of triumph, a guarantee of survival for the coming weeks. They work together, using their stone tools to butcher the animal, sharing the precious meat among the entire tribe. The spoils are brought back to the camp, where the fire roars and the community gathers. The old, the young, the hunters, and the gatherers all share in the bounty. This process forged the very bonds that define our humanity: cooperation, sharing, and community. From these primal hunts on the ancient plains of Africa, the first seeds of complex society were sown. It was here, in the crucible of the hunt, that we took our first decisive steps on the long road to becoming human. 2 million years ago, we learned that together, we were more than just survivors. We were hunters. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey back in time. If you found this story of our ancient ancestors as fascinating as I do, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more adventures into our incredible past. We'll see you in the next one.